Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the Cinema Review. My name's Scott. Today I'm be doing the best movies of 2021 so far. We're a little bit halfway, at the halfway mark of the year. There's still a lot of big releases coming out, like Dune, Spider-Man 3. What do we got? We got James Bond movie, we got Halloween Kills. So I just want to make this list to make sure you guys have checked out all these movies. I want to talk about some of these, and make sure to like and subscribe. And let's just get into the video. So coming at number 10, I got Saint Maud, an A24 horror movie directed by Rose Glass. It's currently streaming on Hulu, and it's pretty much just about a nurse named Maud who has recently just found God, and she's tasked with taking care of a woman named Amanda, who used to be a former dancer, but now she has this chronic illness, so she needs Maud to take care of her. And so now the whole movie, it's A24 horror, so you know it's gonna be really creepy, and it doesn't fail. This is a very impressive directorial debut. This movie's creepy, it's eerie, it's very intense at times, and throughout the whole movie, it's further revealed that Maud has a dark past. She's sort of like this unreliable narrator. As we're watching, as certain things get revealed. It's one of those movies where like she's just doing like some creepy stuff. As you can see in this photo, she's floating like in midair. Stuff just happens a lot with the. It's very religious, it's like a horror religious movie, which is I sort of like. Kind of brings me back to those old movies like Rosemary's Baby and Carrie. Not as polarizing as those movies, but still a very, very good movie, especially at this time. And Morfydd Clark, I think I'm pretty much butchering her name. She puts on a fantastic performance, and this movie's capped off with a very memorable ending. Definitely, if you're into horror, if you're into A24 horror especially, this is not one to miss. Let's go into the next one. Coming at number 9, I got Raya and the Last Dragon, a Disney animated movie. This movie's pretty much it's a fantasy adventure film. It takes place in a fictional world where humans and dragons live together in peace. An evil force comes along, and the dragons had to sacrifice themselves to save humanity. So now this movie is 500 years after those events, and that same evil has now returned, and now it's up to Raya to track down the last dragon so she can restore the land and its people. I really, really did love this movie. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I watched it with my little sister. I thought it was really unique and heartfelt. Kelly Marie Tran plays Raya. You all know her probably from The Last Jedi, the whole sequel trilogy. She got a lot of hate for that movie. Not rightfully so. It's not her fault. It's just the script was bad. And Awkwafina also plays the dragon. And I know her from The Farewell, Ocean's 8. She's going to be in the new Shang-Chi movie. And most of the movie focuses on them two and their banter. And they just had really good chemistry together, which elevated the movie. I also loved how the villain was a really great character. What's crazy that the villain actually ended up being my favorite character. She just had so much depth to her, and she had such great character development. And when a movie has that, especially for the villain, just elevates it like by so much. I also love the animation; that looked great. The whole dynamic with the father and the daughter relationship, pulling on the old heartstrings. That's always good. So overall, this movie was really great, tons of fun, and another one that just can't be missed for this year. Next up at number 8, we got Luca, the new Pixar movie. I had such a great time with this. It's all about these two boys experiencing this unforgettable summer in Italy. But the big twist that they're actually both sea monsters. So the whole movie is them trying to hide their secret identity while also trying to like pursue their dreams on the surface. The big standout for this, I know I said Raya's animation looked great, but Luca's animation was so good. Like just so many breathtaking shots. I love the whole like theme of being yourself, which is sort of like cliche nowadays, but it didn't really feel forced in this movie, and it did work for me. The whole story was just wonderful, and I just had a great time throughout the whole thing. I'm like half Italian, so I related to some of the things here. A lot of funny jokes. In terms of where I'd rank it on the Pixar list, one day I'm gonna have to do my own video of it, but I think it's somewhere between like middle high tier. It's definitely not top tier, but I really enjoyed it, so I put it somewhere in the middle to the top. Next up is the Suicide Squad, directed by James Gunn, currently on HBO Max. I've already talked about this movie so many times in the last like week. I have 2 previous vids about it. Pretty much, it's just about Suicide Squad. You got Amanda Waller taking these fugitives. You go do a mission. We got Starro. I already went into all this. Overall, I really love this movie. I think it's a top tier DC film. My only negative is in the second act. Harley Quinn's still good. All the characters are still fun. One of the best times of the year. On to the next one. Coming at number 6, one of my personal favorites of the year, we got Pig, starring Nicolas Cage, another directorial debut. This movie was so good. I loved it. It's all about this truffle hunter played by Nick Cage who lives alone in the woods. His pig gets stolen, so he has to travel back to Portland where he has to confront his past in order to save his kidnapped pig. This is a revenge tale like no other. I was expecting a totally different movie when I heard that this was a story about Nick Cage, whose pig got stolen, so now he has to go get it back. Like that just sounds like so many Nick Cage moments where he's screaming when it's violent. I mean, if you saw Mandy, it's a tale where his wife gets kidnapped, so he's got to go after her. Really creepy, gory movie. This is so different. This is a somber quest. It's like sort of relaxing and comforting. Nick Cage just brings like this comforting presence for me now. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but Alex Wolff also stars in it, who you know from Predator. He does a good job, but all this movie really focuses on Nick Cage, and he puts on a really subtle yet impressive performance. He probably won't get nominated at the Oscars, but he deserves it. It was actually a really, really good performance. My only negative is that it is a little too slow at times. It's a slow burn type of movie, but at times you do feel that runtime. Uh, but beautiful score, fantastic film. Any Nicolas Cage fan out there, you must watch this movie. So rounding out the top five, we got Judas and the Black Messiah, currently streaming on HBO Max. The story is based on a true one about Fred Hampton, who was the chairman of the Black Panther Party in the 60s. He was assassinated in 1969 under the orders of the FBI and the Chicago Police Department. So the whole movie is about that event and what led up to it. The big highlights here are Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield. Very impressive performances, especially by Daniel, who this is what won him his Oscar last year. I just love the gritty vibe of this movie. It's a great drama. Lakeith Stanfield plays a character who's an undercover cop who's trying to learn more about Fred Hampton. He's like working with Jesse Plemons' character, who's an FBI agent, and you could tell like as he learns more about the Black Panther Party and Fred Hampton, he realizes like what's actually going to happen to this guy, and he goes against it. He doesn't want to do it. Really great movie, entertaining, and overall just really powerful film. Next up at number four, I got The Mitchells vs. the Machines, Netflix original, brought to you by the same studio that brought us Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It's pretty much about this quirky family who goes on a road trip to bring their daughter to film school, but they find themselves in the middle of a robot apocalypse, and suddenly they're humanity's last hope. Just a really fun time from start to finish. Great animation that's similar to Spider-Verse. There's a relatable main character, which is most important. She's, like this film nerd. She loves making films. She wants to go to film school. Like any person that's trying to pursue that or just love films is going to relate to her. And one Easter egg, she's wearing the Shining socks. Love that. Cool little Easter eggs with the whole movie. And the whole father-daughter relationship is so beautiful, so great. Great payoff by the end. It really hits home. I got pretty emotional, I'm not gonna lie. The music is fun, and it's just a bona fide family movie of 2021. I absolutely loved it. At number three, I got A Quiet Place Part 2. Following the events of the last one, the same family is forced to venture out into the unknown. We face the same creatures, but we also face other humans that aren't friendly either. I know some don't like this one, but I really enjoyed it. I mean, I saw it in theaters. The sound design is still really impressive. It had a great opening. A lot of the characters are further fleshed out, especially the kids. This is pretty much the kids' movie. Like the whole movie, we're kind of focused on obviously Emily Blunt, but the kids have a lot of character development, and they're like the main focus. Which maybe that's why it threw some people off. I thought it was a good transition. I thought it was really good. Cillian Murphy's also in this. He plays like the old neighbor with like a tragic backstory that helps them out. He was really good in it. My final thoughts on it is that I think it could have been a little bit better, especially the ending, but it was still a phenomenal movie. It's so hard to make a good sequel nowadays, and the fact that they pulled this off and it was still really good, made me really happy. I honestly think it's really good. I've only seen it once though. We'll see how it holds up on a rewatch, but right now I kind of stand with the famous director of The Exorcist, William Friedkin, who says this is a horror classic. I don't know if I'd call it a classic, but it's still really phenomenal movie. Coming at number two is The Green Knight, the new A24 movie directed by David Lowery. He's most notable for his movie A Ghost Story, but this movie is a fantasy adventure film based on the Arthurian legend of the nephew of King Arthur who accepts the challenge of the Green Knight, and the whole movie is about his journey on confronting not only that challenge, but his honor as well. This is a cryptic yet beautiful film, mostly a character study. Dave Patel puts on a fantastic performance. I already did a video on this, so if you want to check out my thoughts on the movie, please go and check out that video. But overall, this is another A24 movie that blew me away, and I cannot lie, I was immersed at the whole entire movie. On to the last one. And lastly, number one, I got Zack Snyder's Justice League. This feels so weird having this number one. Like, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but like, I don't know why. It just feels weird having Zack Snyder's Justice League number one for 2021. Maybe because I think it really would never happen, and I don't know. It just feels super weird, but I really do love this movie. I mean, having Darkseid in there was a big plus. The Justice League, everyone was really great. It fixes a lot of bugs of the last movie. I did talk about this movie in my last video when I ranked all the 11 DCEU movies, so please check that out if you want to hear more of my thoughts on Zack Snyder's Justice League. But overall, I really loved it. Steppenwolf got a better character development. I really loved how they fleshed him out, made him look a lot better. The ending is great with the whole nightmare scene. Loved all that. You probably all know the story if you haven't seen it yet. It's a great story. Loved everything about it. Super long movie, but even though I do feel weird putting it number one, I do think it deserves it right now. It's my highest rated movie. I have it at 4.5 out of 5. Nothing's really been higher than that for me this year. I haven't seen a 5 out of 5 movie yet, so hopefully some of these new releases will. Hopefully Dune is. I'm praying Dune is a 5 out of 5. But that's the end of this video. Thank you guys if you stuck around for this long. Please like this video if you enjoyed this. Please subscribe so we got some new videos. We're about to watch the new What If episode and do a reaction to that. So I'll see you guys in the next video.